Welcome to DS Trucks. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to disassemble your dashboard on your Ford truck, whether you have an F150 2015 till 2020 or a SuperDuty 17 through 2021. How do you get your top tray off of your dashboard? Now, why would you want to remove this tray? Well, if you're going to install a built-right on your truck, you need to know how to remove this tray, and these areas are very easy to scratch. So I put together a video on how to disassemble your dashboard. On our particular truck, we've got a built-right bracket, and we've got a 12-volt USB 3 outlets, always hot, so that we don't have wires running across our dashboard from this power point that's factory. And another cool thing about our 12-volt outlet that we have on our F450 is it is hot at all times. Even with the engine off, it's hot at all times. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and show how to remove this top tray. Here's the clip. Roll it. All right, so we're gonna work this speaker loose first. Basically getting under there, lifting on it, working our tool in there, being careful. So there's little white plastic clips in here. Sometimes they fall down. In this case, one of them fell, but that's okay. There's one in the front. All right. So with this cover off, you can see two of our white clips fell down. That is okay. They are right up under here. We can still get access to them once we take this tray out, but it just tends to happen. One thing you can do as we reassemble this, we're gonna put a little bit of body grease, the Krytox stuff that you actually use for the sunroof. We're gonna put some of that on these clips so that in the future, if we ever have to remove this, it will come off a lot easier. Because with these plastic clips, they're really hard to find, and you only get a couple tries at removing these. So if you remove them once or twice, and then the third time they're kind of worn out. That's why we're going to put this Krytox body weather stripping lubrication on these so that they come apart easier in the future. So we're going to just set this aside over here, and we will continue. Now there's two screws here. I believe they're like 8 mils. I'm going to grab a ratchet, and we're going to remove those next. And working these two screws loose. All right, so we got the two screws out of the back, and in order to get this tray off, we have to pry on it. But what I do is I put a little piece of tape over this plastic part because it's actually easy to scratch it and mark it. So even with the poly tool, it can damage, and you'll see a little mark. So I'm gonna actually tape this front part over, and we are gonna try to get in here with our plastic tool. Now, this area here also will scratch and mark really easily. So if I have to go over here, I'm gonna cover it up, but I'm gonna try to work it out just by using the front. And also too, with these, sometimes you just gotta pull on these. We'll see how it goes, but pulling like this and then working a tool up on there, getting close to the tab so it doesn't break, kind of seems to be the sweet spot. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this pulled out of here. Also too, what I just kind of found helps is if you're pulling up on this, if you take your tool and you kind of push on the plastic tab, if you have access to it. On these rear ones, you don't really have access as good, but here you can just push here on this little plastic tab a little, and that releases the pressure. So that's kind of how I worked it out. Like I'm saying, go up in here, push that plastic tab, and it releases. So we got this out. We do have a plug to remember with this Bang & Olufsen sound. There is a electrical plug. Screw started back up. Electrical plug here, up under here. Don't forget that, because you go and rip it off, and oh, there you go. All right, that's it, and that's that. How to remove your top tray. Reassembly is the same as disassembly, just reverse everything, so I didn't show that. But this is a series of videos that I'm doing on Ford trucks. If you're interested in upfitting your truck, check out this entire playlist where we're reassembling and disassembling things, mainly disassembling things. And the reason I'm doing these videos is if you're going to upfit your truck in any way, like you saw in this truck, we have a constant hot 12-volt USB cigarette. It's not really a cigarette lighter, but it's a USB port that has 3 outlets, fast charging, able to fast charge 3 devices at once. That's upfitting. And in any kind of upfitting that you might want to be interested in, maybe it's snow plow install, maybe it's LED lights, you're gonna need these types of videos. So things like passenger side battery removal, battery tray removal, because underneath there, that is where your pass-through wires are. That's where you're gonna have access to your upfitter switches. If you're going to run any wiring from your upfitter switches to the interior of your truck, you're going to need that space. That's where the wires are going to route. They're going to route right up under that battery tray. So we're going to talk about how to remove the battery tray. We're also going to be talking about how to remove the interior panels. But anyways, that's it for how to remove the top tray. See you guys in the next video.